welcome back to Home Gym Hacks and Reviews. This is part 3 in my high intensity training series. Stay tuned. Today is an upper body pull day, lat emphasis, and the day that I am looking most forward to in the series because today I get to use the Nautilus Pullover and this new machine, the Fettle Fitness Iso Pulldown. I start this workout by doing some warm-up sets with the Iso Pulldown. My first work set is actually going to be over there on the Nautilus Pullover. But my warm-ups are with the compound exercise. I don't really do any warm-ups with the Nautilus Pullover. I just go right into my pre-exhaust set. Alright, here's my one and only work set on the pullover. Last time I did 180 15 times. Today I actually jumped up to 200. After about a year and a half, I finally put Home Gym Hacks and Reviews on a t-shirt, and I have a couple of banners above the garage door that I will show at some point. And again, this is a pre-exhaust set. In my review for this machine, I mentioned that one of the greatest bodybuilders of all time, 6-time Mr. Olympia, Dorian Yates, once said the Nautilus Pullover is the greatest strength training machine ever made. I'm not sure I think it's the greatest ever made, but it is incredible. Having this machine in my garage feels a little like having a classic Corvette. These old Nautilus Pullovers are becoming more and more rare, but they outperform many of the newer model brands and machines. There are people who say this exercise isn't all that effective for lats. To that I say, don't listen to me, don't listen to them. Try one out and see for yourself. I've said many times the Rogue Rhino is my favorite machine, but if I could only have one machine, it would be the Powertec Lever Gym. Now this old school Nautilus Pullover, for the time being, is in a tie with the Rogue Rhino. Not because it's the most versatile machine I have, but because it's rare. It has the mystique of Arthur Jones, Mike Mincer, and Dorian Yates attached to it, and it lights up my back. 13. I think that's a decent jump going 20 pounds heavier. I had to move the cameras, but aside from that, I'm immediately heading over to the pull down. 10 pounds heavier this time. This is my newest machine and an excellent addition to my garage gym. After watching Dorian Yates' Blood and Guts DVD one too many times, I convinced myself I needed the same pre-exhaust isolation machine and compound pull down he used, and started off by getting the Nautilus Pullover and then this machine to complete the equation. While Dorian used the hammer strength version of this machine, I have the Fettle Fitness version. Prior to having a home gym, I would seek out commercial gyms that had the hammer strength line. I used the hammer strength version of this machine for many years, and I cannot feel a difference between the two machines. The cylindrical tubing is the only noticeable difference, and the price is about half that of the hammer strength, so it's a great alternative to the original. I recently uploaded a review for this machine if you want any additional information about it. I'm using my Cobra grips here just so that my grip doesn't give out on this set. Whew. That was tough. My next back exercise is the chest supported row. I'm turning my hands at about a 45-degree angle, palms facing up, and I'm trying to mirror the hammer strength low row. And I feel like it does a really good job of it actually. Last time I did 120, 12 and a half times. Today, 125, hopefully 12 and a half times or more. Once again, the Angles 90 grips proved to be one of the most versatile training tools I have. By attaching these to the straight curl bar, I feel like I have a decent alternative to the hammer strength low row. In order to protect my lower back, all of my rows are now chest supported. I could do this exercise on the Lever Gym cable or with the Lever Gym arms, but this is very convenient because of the selectorized stack I have attached to the Powertec Smith machine. Powertec has a standalone lat pull down machine, but I chose to get the lat tower option to help save some space in the garage. And when it's attached to the Smith machine, and when the flat incline decline bench is attached to the Smith, this is a rock solid workstation, not to mention the weight of the additional selectorized stack. 14, decent improvement. Moving on to biceps with the Powertec Preacher. I'm only doing one warm-up set here, only about 5 reps. Here's my work set for the Powertec Preacher. I've gone up 5 pounds. I need to get 13 repetitions. I am using the Preacher as my first bicep exercise to fatigue my biceps so I don't have to use as much weight on my next exercise, which is the dumbbell curl. That seems to be a bit more hard on my elbows. This is the Powertec Preacher Attachment for the Powertec Flat Incline Decline Bench. I've mentioned this a few times, but I removed the original bar and replaced it with my own revolving curl bar from Power Systems. I think this hack greatly improves the Powertec Preacher Attachment. I have a review for the Preacher Attachment with a lot of hacks, and I do think this is probably the most hackable of all of the Powertec attachments for the Flat Incline Decline Bench. Alright, so I'm too short. Gotta get two more. One more. Last time I did 36 12 times. Today it's 37. I'm able to jump up just a little bit at a time with these Rogue add-on change plates. I'm not going to supinate my hands just because this is easier on my elbows. These Rogue add-on change plates are an invaluable tool for progressing in weight just a pound or two at a time. With dumbbell exercises like the bicep curl and lateral raise, 5-pound jumps in weight are usually too much, so these help bridge the gap. One of my very first reviews on this channel was actually for these. Way back when I did that review, I thought I could get away without showing my face while doing reviews, but that didn't work so well. Mike Mentzer has some incredibly cool quotes throughout his writings. One of my favorites is, "Intensity of effort is the single most important factor influencing the rate of skeletal muscle growth." I also like many of his quotes that relate to the importance of recovery. I will try to include many of my favorite quotes by Mentzer in some of my future videos. I choose to do this exercise with both arms at the same time rather than alternating dumbbells because I just feel like alternating dumbbells carries the set a little too long and it actually seems a little too taxing. And I'm happy with that. That's a pound heavier on each dumbbell and I think 2 extra reps. And this is my last bicep exercise. I include this last bicep exercise because I feel I get a better contraction in the bicep at the end of the rep compared to a standing barbell curl, for example, where there isn't a lot of tension at the top of the rep. I am trying to replicate this old Nautilus machine that my dad has. This is one of the super old ones that is chain driven and very rare. He actually said he would give it to me if I could make room for it. In the meantime, this exercise is a great alternative to that very unique machine. I have found these revolving D handles actually work better for this exercise than the Prime Fitness rotate handles. These revolving D handles actually came with my first Powertec Streamline Functional Trainer. This is my second one, and a different set of handles came with it. And that felt really effective. I went up 3 repetitions, but I stayed at the same weight from the last workout. Next, I'm going to do a rest pause set of dumbbell shrugs. Last time, I did the 85s 20 and 16 times. Today, I have the 90s. I do have my Cobra grips on so that my grip doesn't give out. I target my traps with 2 other exercises on my other pull day, which I will show in a future video, but dumbbell shrugs have always been my favorite trap exercise. Whenever I hit them hard, they are normally sore from this exercise the following day. I am using the H.I.T Fitness dumbbell shelf. I think this accessory has been discontinued, but it remains one of my favorite pieces in this gym. It allows me to walk between the dumbbells rather than have the dumbbells in front of me when I lift off. 95s are the heaviest dumbbells that I have in my garage gym, so I'll be able to increase the weight on those a little bit with the Rogue add-on change plates, but once I've maxed out all of the dumbbells that I have in my garage gym, I'll carry this exercise over to the lever gym. So I'll stop at 22. I probably could get another rep or 2, but I want to keep my form looking pretty tight. I rested about 10 seconds. Now I'm going for 16 reps, at least. In part 2 of this series, I cover some of the books I have, but I also have a couple of really good HIT DVDs. As I mentioned earlier, I have Dorian Yates' Blood and Guts, which is awesome if you can deal with his training partner screaming the whole time, and unfortunately the video is in black and white. Mike Mentzer's HIT DVD is another great resource. I got this DVD about 20 years ago. Mike Mentzer's Underground Seminar is a pretty interesting watch, but he makes most of the points that can be found in a lot of his books and writings. If you are trying to watch any of these, they can be found on YouTube, but I purchased all of mine through eBay at the House of Bodybuilding. 17. My last exercise and last set of the day is just finishing up the workout with pull-ups. For some reason, I like adding these to the end of my workout, and as long as I'm continuing to progress on them, I'll continue to add them. Last time I got 12 repetitions with this angled grip, which I find to be pretty easy on the elbows and wrists. On my other back workout, I use a hammer grip. I typically don't use an overhand grip, pronated that is. In part 4 of this series, I will be using the Rogue Rhino, the Powertec leg press, and the Powertec leg squat, among other machines. It's a very tough but short workout that I have really enjoyed doing over the last few months. Be sure to hit the notification bell so you can be notified when that video drops. Also, I have not been showing my cool down, but I always try to stretch using the TRX at the end of every training session. With this routine, I have not been doing much cardio, aside from walking my dogs about a half a mile every day. And 13, typically I don't like stopping on the number 13, but I didn't really have a choice there. But one extra rep. That concludes today's workout. 8 exercises, 9 sets. I think it was a very good and very productive workout. I beat the logbook on everything that I did today. In the comment section, I would love to know your thoughts on HIT. Have you tried it? Do you think it's good? Do you think it's bad? If you haven't seen parts 1 or 2 in this series, be sure to check those out. Part 4 will be coming soon. Of course, I really appreciate you all watching. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please consider doing so. If you found this video or any of the videos in this series helpful, please consider liking it. I do have affiliate links that can be found in the description of this video. Some of those links can save you some money, so I would appreciate it if you would use one of those links if any of my videos have helped you. And remember, if your equipment lacks, I got the hacks. Take care, everyone.